checking on you. I ain't one of these niggas that be flexing on you. Make it bust it like I done got that weapon on you. That what she sound like. After we finish, we finna go another round. Like, done with these bitches, I really need to hold it down tight. Back in the studio, finna kill another soundbite. And the way that we rockin', girl, they will never know. I got that dope for your body, we going federal. She held me up, so I put her up on the pedals. The type of vibe that I'm giving the baby, it's unforgettable. Got that drink in my bladder, baby, I need it. Put that thing on the platter bed, I'ma eat it. Said my pockets got fatter, these niggas eat it. Put it down for my region, baby, and that's the reason, yeah. She been messing with me cause I'm a whole vibe. And I been creeping with her for like the whole night.
So I have to turn it off for 2 minutes so I can order this stuff and I'm gonna chime right back in.
She love how I'm coming out when I'm leaving. Get you one of them covers, I'm undefeated. And she been messing with me cause I'm a whole vibe. And I been creeping with her for like the whole night, yeah. FaceTime, I wanna see what it looking like. I turn the heat up on niggas, I got it cooking right. When it come down to real niggas, you know I'm the prototype. Really gotta keep the Mac on me like I was Dolomite. Get on top, she ride it just like a motorbike. I'm taking risks for the money, bet I'ma roll the dice. This for the coaches, said I don't do this shit for the hype. Gotta take it slow while I pour another 4 in the Sprite. So many losses, I'm strategizing another win. Fantasizing of pulling up in that double in. She a vibe, she keep it solid, I cut her in. The whole damn world, baby, that's what we up against. Got that drink in my bladder, baby, I need it. Put that thing on the platter bed, I'ma eat it. Said my pockets got fatter, these niggas eat it. Put it down for my region, baby, and that's the reason, yeah. She been messing with me cause I'm a whole vibe. And I been creeping with her for like the whole night. And niggas still be hating, but I don't know why. Keep my foot up on these necks, it's like a bow tie, yeah. She love how I'm coming out when I'm leaving. Get you one of them covers, I'm undefeated. And she been messing with me cause I'm a whole vibe. And I been creeping with her for like the whole night, yeah.
Alright, I'm back. Yep. Done.
Hey, she been messing with me cause I'm a whole vibe. And I been creeping with her for like the whole night. And niggas still be hating, but I don't know why. Keep my foot up on these necks, it's like a bow tie, yeah. She love how I'm coming out when I'm leaving. Get you one of them covers, I'm undefeated. And she been messing with me cause I'm a whole vibe. And I been creeping with her for like the whole night, yeah. And I'm on my way to put that pressure on you. But she so good, they got a nigga checking on you. I ain't one of these niggas that be flexing on you. Make it bust it like I done got that weapon on you. That what she sound like. After we finish, we finna go another round. Like, done with these bitches, I really need to hold it down tight. Back in the studio, finna kill another soundbite. And the way that we rockin', girl, they will never know. I got that dope for your body, we going federal. She held me up, so I put her up on the pedals. The type of vibe that I'm giving the baby, it's unforgettable. Got that drink in my bladder, baby, I need it. Put that thing on the platter bed, I'ma eat it. Said my pockets got fatter, these niggas eat it. Put it down for my region, baby, and that's the reason, yeah. She been messing with me cause I'm a whole vibe. And I been creeping with her for like the whole night. And niggas still be hating, but I don't know why. Keep my foot up on these necks, it's like a bow tie, yeah. She love how I'm coming.
Yes, sir. We live, baby.
Good times.
I gotta take that watermark off on top of my head. We're gonna pretend like it's not there.
I have a broken blind that I bootleg.
Broken blind. Hey, that just means, you know what I'm saying? We're working towards something.
Yeah. Nah, I mess with it, so I ain't gonna get messed up.
Music by Young Go. Whole vibe. Y'all should tap in, check him out. Out of California. For the Tungans. It says we good. We live on Facebook on my PC, but seeing it, it's all good. But yeah, man. Episode 3. Tavita Van Pelt.
Vita Van Pelt and Soy A. Smith.
Soy A. Smith. We out here.
Our friends are weenies. Forget them guys.
Our friends are weenies. They weenies for not being here.
Whatever.
Oh, there we go. So we live on Facebook now. Apparently, I gotta hit the go live button because Facebook is stupid. We gonna let some people tap in. We're kind of we're gonna give y'all the agenda for today. You know, we're still evolving. This is episode 3 of TTE ESPN. TTE ESPN. We might gonna have some fancy decorations next time. Get some borders around everybody. Everybody will probably have a background like me. You never know. But today's episode, man, we're gonna start off with a little bit of talk around the NBA. You know, it's been a crazy playoffs. We've been seeing some crazy things happening. The Nets are out. Trae Young is wilding. The media don't know who the hell to talk about because LeBron and Steph Curry ain't in the playoffs.
Nobody.
Man,
it's so embarrassing, man. It's so embarrassing how sports media looks as a whole right now. Now, I'm not going to say as a whole, but those mainstream media platforms are bombing it. Like, it's horrible.
When the biggest highlight in the NBA today right now is Masked Book.
Masked Book.
Ain't nobody talking about that man's performance. Ain't nobody talking about the Bucks losing their first playoff game at home. Kia and the Jazz suck. The Jazz being the number 1 seed, the best record in the NBA, coming into the playoffs just to stink it up. We're gonna talk about that.
So when was the last time a number 1 seed actually ran through and won it?
Ooh.
Remember, this isn't the first time the Atlanta Hawks had. This year isn't their year, but you remember the Kyle Korver, Al Horford. Joe Johnson,
man.
Atlanta Hawks.
Hey, that Hawks, Josh Smith, Jamal Crawford off the bench.
That was a 60-win team, and people act like they didn't exist. And they was like a 50-something the year before and got bounced early.
Man, they got super bounced. But that'll be kind of what we start off today with. We're gonna jump into correct me if I'm saying her name right, Sha'Carri Richardson.
Yeah, I believe it's Sha'Carri Richardson.
Okay, because watching the qualifying rounds, I heard 4 different ways that those announcers said her name, and I didn't want to be them dudes, man. So Sha'Carri Richardson, qualifying for the Olympics. We're gonna pop into the state of boxing.
Yep.
Boxing is in a weird place right now after that Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather debacle.
Yep.
And then we're gonna get into the truth about Kwame Brown and Ben Simmons, man.
Ben Simmons.
It's a whole breakdown of that. That's just like the headline. There's gonna be a whole stuff behind that. But man, let's jump into it, man. The NBA. The NBA conference finals.
So I think everybody is almost unanimous that you only expected 2 teams to be here at this point in the Clippers and the Bucks. You didn't expect both of them to be at this point and to be down, especially be down to 2 teams to be in the Suns and the Hawks. Like you didn't see that coming.
Nobody did.
Again, nobody did. And it was like Utah. Like, as much as Utah was killing this year, you just kind of like, and they murdered the Hornets both times. Like they absolutely murdered us. You know what I'm saying? They murdered us both times. But like, even watching them, I was like, I wouldn't be scared of y'all in the playoffs.
You was at the game too.
No, I was at the Hawks. I watched.
Oh, the Hawks, Hornets.
Yeah, I remember like when we played the Jazz, the Hornets played the Jazz in Utah. Like Bogdanovich, Ingles, and O'Neal probably all had a 20 ball off of threes. It just wasn't missing. Like they wasn't. But then you still watch them and you're like, yeah, I wouldn't put my money on y'all to win it.
Yeah.
Like you really wouldn't. Like, so that's why, like, when was the last time a number one seed actually went in and was the number one seed and won it?
Maybe the Heat.
Yeah.
Maybe the Heat, the big three Heat.
The year they actually won it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the next year, they won 2 in a row, and then they lost that one against the Spurs, and that was kind of the end of the big three.
Yep.
So damn, maybe the Miami Heat. The big three Miami Heat.
And that was the KD, Harden, and Russ Thunder that they played in.
Yeah.
I think that had to be the last year, because I think everybody even watching that year was like, all right, Miami's not gonna fold this year away.
Man, the way they were playing, they ran through Boston. They ran through everybody, man. I mean,
even like just the regular season, you were just like, these dudes was just, everybody was just zoned in. You could tell it was like, nah, we're not gonna give up a beat this time.
Yeah.
When I look back at the first one, I didn't realize like they really took the Mavs lightly. Like they was joking about Dirk being sick and all that stuff. I was like, wow. I kind of forgot that.
Yeah, they got their ass handed to them in that series. Jason Terry went off.
Yeah.
Who else was over there? Jason Kidd. JJ Barea. Tyson Chandler was playing out of his mind. Deshaun Stevenson off the bench was over there.
They went top to bottom and just murdered them boys, man. And it was nothing you could do. There was nothing they could do.
So
like they was helpless.
What do you think about the whole KD conversation, man? Like I know we talked about this in our own chat about how easily LeBron ran through the East, and then we see KD kind of go over there, and I think to the casual fan they look at it like, man, LeBron ran through the East, KD should be able to do that, but they're two completely different players, man. So I want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, they're two different players and it's two different times. It's two different players and it's two different times. So you're not catching so let me see how I can put it. When the Heat got together, remember, they basically disbanded a contending team, which was Cleveland, because once LeBron left Cleveland, that team was no longer a conference finals contender. You took the guy who got them off of it. And then you took the guy who was getting to semifinals with Chris Bosh, and you took that team away by taking him off of that team. So you eliminated two teams by adding two players on it, and then
you had the aging Pistons,
the aging
Celtics.
So it was like they
the Hawks was probably the biggest one.
Yeah, they took their little lump, but I think they all took that individually, because when they got together, I don't even think that first year they faced, like, outside of Boston, who really pushed them in the playoffs that first year. They just buckled against the Mavs. Like, they just buckled against the Mavs. Like, and the Mavs was, in that moment, the better team in totality, but, like, they buckled, bro.
Talent-wise, it was not the Mavs. So how about a little bit after that? After the Heat disbanded, and you had the LeBron Cavs, where it was it was basically Bron. I don't even want to include Kyrie into that conversation because throughout the playoffs he got hurt. The first playoff series he hurt his knee.
Yeah.
Kevin Love hurt his shoulder against the Celtics.
Yeah. I always stand by. I take prime Bron as second term Cavs, bro. I feel like that's when he was doing the most and doing the best was second term Cavs Bron. Because again, that first year they was hurt, and if that first year Kyrie was healthy and Love was healthy, I would have took the Cavs that first year against Golden State. Like when LeBron, remember?
Oh yeah.
Iguodala got Iguodala got MVP in the finals for holding LeBron to a triple-double. Like, we was all kind of like,
A
he was really
crazy triple. LeBron James led the whole series in every category.
Every category. That's what I said. I take prime LeBron as second-term Cavs LeBron. So I think that time, man, what the Raptors couldn't get past LeBron for nothing.
Yeah.
Like the Raptors, DeRozan, like they just kept every time they ran it to him, they was just getting blown out. LeBron was just killing the Raptors. But now when I look at KD, I'm like, okay, KD's not playing a premature Bucks team, even though we feel like talent-wise the Nets should have been better. But this is probably the Bucks is going to be as a team for as long as these people stay together.
Yeah.
Like, so I do feel KD and them should have pulled that out. But again, we also blame that on management because you knew once you picked up Harden and Kyrie, you was like, there's really nothing else beyond that you can really depend on.
Yeah, and I think they depended too much on Dinwiddie being available before he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
But what's crazy to me too is I mean, I said this in our chat too, right? Like, we're gonna have to see a complete player in KD. We're gonna have to see somebody that's out there defending, creating shots for other dudes, you know, making everybody better. Which we saw that the first game without Kyrie, he put up that monster triple double. He's like 40 plus points. Was it 49 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists or something like that?
10 assists, yeah.
Which was crazy. And I'm like, okay, you proved me wrong because I didn't think he could do it.
Yeah, me neither.
And then he came out the second game and it was like game 7 and it turned into that's the KD I expected to see. He went out there and tried to outscore the Bucks himself. Yeah.
And I think that's I put that on Nash too.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like if you know you're gonna run him all his minutes, give him a break in the first half.
Yeah. And
then let him be like, all right, when you're not coming out the second half. I guess to kind of help that rest a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, when you're playing in the moment, nobody wants to come out. So I know it.
Plus, I mean, game plan wise, when you have Blake Griffin out there shooting 4 or 5 3-pointers in the first half, you're not saying yourself he's your best defender, which ain't saying a lot.
It's not.
Blake Griffin is your best defender.
It's not. I think So I think for me, ever since KD hit the Cavs 3 over LeBron, the deep when the game 6 when he was just like
from right there in the wing, from Limitless.
From that point, I thought the statement was made, I'm the best offensive player. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing nobody can do with me when I'm here. Nobody. But again, when it comes to elevating a team, I don't see it happen. I saw somebody bring up the stat where they was like, remember, KD got bounced by Memphis twice, got bounced by San Antonio. This was like as much as you can be like Westbrook, it was like, yo, KD was getting bounced before Curry, which makes me mad at the way that he addresses Golden State. Because he was like, well, Golden State wasn't a winning organization before I got there.
Oh,
like,
man.
That was still Steph's team. And it was never your team. You know what I'm saying? Like, that team was never your team. Like,
Steph did his best D-Wade impression and say, you know what? You're the best scorer on this team. I could get a bucket whenever I want, but we need you to do this.
Exactly. So I don't like Golden State built that whole championship team before him. And again, like you said, he went over there after they won rings and was contending. So I always, when I hear his interviews, I don't like how he addresses his time in Golden State as if he was needed. Like, man, dude, you was up 3-1 on them and you got bounced. So
he just seems like a very, very controversial person.
Yeah.
Misunderstood, I think is what it is.
I think it's misunderstood, and I also think it's one of the things we'll talk about later, too. I think we have to stop expecting our image from people and just let them be who they are.
Yeah.
KD will never be the LeBron of image that we like to see, but I also always stood behind KD's the better offensive talent, but there's nothing he could do in his legacy to go over LeBron. There's nothing he could do in his legacy to be like, I'm the total better player than LeBron.
Yeah,
But
total
LeBron,
complete player.
Yeah. Now, between influence, accolades, all of that, there's nothing KD could do. I feel like that'll be like where we go MJ, Kobe, LeBron. There's nothing KD could ever do to push any one of them three out of the conversation and to get in that circle of the three.
I agree.
It is what it is. Nobody. I don't think there's nobody in this remaining generation outside of Steph, but Steph's gonna have a different title to his, which is like the wrench in the plan. But there's no way KD could jump in that circle of three with Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron.
Plus, he's at such a disadvantage too with the fact that yes, he's jumping teams just like LeBron did, but he's doing it at such a different success rate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Brown.
Yeah.
What was it? Nine NBA finals straight. I don't care if he won
straight
3 of them, 4 of them.
Yeah.
9 straight NBA finals.
Yep.
So
9 straight.
Looking at the Hawks winning. The Hawks shocking the Bucks, giving them their first home loss in the playoffs last night, man. Trae Young. Man.
Dude, it's crazy. It's been Trae since draft night for me. It's been Trae over Luka since draft night for me.
Yeah.
It really has.
And I've said this a couple times. I think Luka is as good as he's gonna get right now. And I think people hate me. They hate me saying that, but Luka's as good as he's gonna get right now.
Yeah.
Are we going to continue to see numbers like that? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you're not going to see anything different.
I think he's in the, I don't want to say anything. Yeah, I agree. I think he's about as good as he's going to get. And I think the best thing you could do for him is, I think when you have ball dominant players like that, you have to kind of start to force the ball out of their hands.
Oh, yeah.
Another person who could score just as but I don't, Luka's about as good as Luka, great talent, top talent amongst the young players. It's still Trae over Luka for me, but he's tapped. I don't see no way in his game again that'll change what it is. And because of that, he'll probably mess around and get an MVP next year, like Nash did with the Suns. Where you were like, oh, you're just the best player with the best stats on this team, and y'all did it good, but it's probably not a ring coming out of it.
Yeah. You think the Bucks are in trouble after losing that first game, or do you think they make the adjustment?
Yeah, I think they're in trouble. But it's also not a bad problem because Drew had a night offensively. Where he killed it.
Yeah,
and you still lose, which we all know Middleton's gonna have a game. Giannis is gonna stay Giannis, but man, John Collins and Kevin Huerter are just like. They're really X factoring for that team.
Man, they just want it more, man. Like
John Collins
is a damn. He's got the motor of a Montrezl Harrell, but like skill wise, he could do it.
Yeah, I will never forget with John Collins. My first time really seeing him when he went to the dunk contest, and he had that big old fiasco, and then he tried to brought out the choir and all that mess, and then he.
This man jumping over a paper plane, and he took off the whole left wing.
And then Kenny Smith was essentially, he did just jump over a paper plane. I was
man. Not even the fact that it was a paper plane. It was the fact that you couldn't even clear the paper plane. Come on, dog.
Clear, man.
You repping for the polys, man.
He was supposed to clear it and go through the legs or something. He did a trip, bro.
This man did a regular dunk. Pilot said Bucks win 4 straight. I don't know, Pilot, man. Trae was making Drew Holiday, one of the best defenders in the league, look like a fool yesterday. Granted, he ain't had no help off those pick and rolls because they living off that pick and roll.
They left him on an island, bro. And Trae's floater game is crazy. So I don't think you'll ever see. I feel like Trae's the mix between a CP3 and Steph because he has the range. We know he has the range, and his floater is deadly. So I don't think we'll ever see him do pull-ups like Chris Paul does in the mid-range. Yeah, but you'll see him. He's gonna get there and he's gonna throw a floater and it's gonna be in there. LaMelo does the floater. Like I'd be like, why y'all doing floaters from there? Pull up, but they got it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they got it. Why not?
Well, shoot. Bucks are in trouble. Kind of transitioning over to the West. We got the Suns and Devin Booker and the masked book tonight against the Clippers. They're in the second quarter right now, and the Clips are up. Clips are up 6, 10 minutes to go. Man, who you think takes game 2? They're playing in LA. LA dropped game 1. Yeah, LA dropped game 1. Oh wait, this is game 3.
This is 3.
Yeah, this is game 3. So LA dropped the first 2 in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Now they're in LA for game 3.
Clippers have to get 3. I don't think they're gonna get it, but Clippers have to get 3.
From the way the Clippers have been playing game 3s all so far throughout the playoffs, they've been losing the first 2 games. They'll go back and win the next 2.
Yeah.
They won 4 straight last series. They went to 7 against the Mavs. So I mean, if we're looking at, what that pattern looks like, maybe they come out and take game 3, but I just think the Suns got too much, man. They just got too much offensively. Chris Paul is back, and I think Chris Paul is going to be the reason they don't go into the fourth quarter like the first 2 games and start playing this. Let's give them a 7-point run, 8-point run back and forth. I think Chris Paul is that he's that balancing act that'll come in and really just take control of the game in the fourth quarter and say, you know what, I'm gonna pick and roll and I'm gonna pull up on Zubac, DeMarcus Cousins, or Morris, whoever's in front of me, right at the wheel.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was listening to Colin and he said it, man. I didn't really realize it until he said it. But the Phoenix Suns went back to essentially a '90s basketball where you have a facilitating, floor leading PG, two-way type of guy. You have a shooting guard, like a
legitimate shooting guard.
Legitimate shooting guard, not a James Harden. You were a shooting guard, but you just the best person in the ball with your hands to score. So we're just gonna move you over here and give you the ball all the time. Like you're a legitimate shooting guard. You got Bridges and Crowder, who are your older and younger big, wing players. You got
your 3-and-D guys.
3-and-D guys. You got Ayton, who, like he says, actually enjoys to play big and to play on the block. So you're like, this is a very old school like team. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, that's where teams mess up. I think that's where teams messed up was they form big threes. It's like you don't have that talent. You don't have that talent. And it's not even a disrespectful thing, but like every player's built differently. You have to find players in a system that works for each player and what they have.
Yeah.
Like you said, and when you have James Harden, like T-Mac and Kobe said in their interview, who's always starting with the ball at the top of the key or the wing.
And they said it in that same interview. It is not going to equate to a championship.
It's not going to equate. Like, it's not going to equate. And the OG Cephasset was like, you could get away with your weaknesses in the offseason because you're playing back-to-back, so film study's really short. Like, but it's 6-7 games, whatever you aren't good at is going to show on tape.
Oh,
These teams are going to see it. So,
I think that's where the Clippers are starting to miss Kawhi in that mid-range to be able to kind of do the same thing that Chris Paul does. Take over in the fourth quarter, kind of stop the bleeding when they're down a lot, and then go on the other end and get a stop. But one thing I said about Ayton the other day is that dude is David Robinson 2.0, man.
Yep.
The fundamentals of this dude. He doesn't need the ball in his hand all the time to go and back to basket, hit him with a couple jab steps and take a jumper. He knows how to play off the ball. He goes and grabs rebounds, puts it back up, kicks it out. He makes the right play every time.
The right play every time. And that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Like, I think he said both teams been running 8-9 deep and getting effective play out of everybody. So why not let, trust your mans to make the right play? That's it. Like, I don't have to make every play. Like, trust the man to make the right play. Yeah. We'll keep it going from there.
I think that's where the Suns are benefiting from their bench, man. They got Campaign coming off the bench. They got Cameron Johnson. I don't think a lot of people are talking about Cameron Johnson, but this dude,
no. He's
being a damn 6'10" shooting guard, small forward, power forward to be able to stretch the floor and guard 1 through 4.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yep. He's really nice. I like him. I like it. They built right. They took their time and they built, man.
So
they did.
Clips got to win tonight. They're in the second quarter right now. It's still a pretty close game. We'll see if Chris Paul has the Chris Paul effect that we're expecting coming in the second half. But kind of transitioning over to the draft lottery, man. Draft lottery.
I feel so bad for the Bulls.
I feel so bad for the Bulls. There's a couple of teams. I mean, me personally, I expected the Thunder to have at least 2 picks in the top 10.
Me too.
They ended up with 1 in the top 15.
No, they got 16 and 18 or 14 and 16.
Oh yeah, 14 and 16. So they got
they got 2 right, but again, it's not what they wanted.
Yeah, they didn't trade all that capital just to turn around and not have it to use.
Yeah, the Magic's people was mad. Magic was mad. They obviously must have had their eye on somebody because they was mad that they wasn't in the top 5.
So right now, the top 10 is outlined by Detroit, number 1, Houston, Cleveland, which where Cleveland lands, I fully expect them to now trade Colin Sexton with landing at number 3. You got Toronto, Orlando, Oklahoma with the number 6 pick with all that draft capital that they got. Golden State landed number 7, which is crazy to me. They was playing for number 8 spot in the playoffs, and now they landed the number 7 pick from Minnesota.
Well, that's what you call a front office, man. And this is 2 years without Clay. You're still finding yourself in a lot of 2 years missing Clay, still being playoff contending teams, basically, and in the lottery. That's how a front office works.
And you round it up by Orlando at number 8, Sacramento, and New Orleans. So, what do you think the draft looks like, man?
1 is Cade.
Cade Cunningham?
1 is Cade.
Yeah.
The question is, he only set his interview to go meet with 1 team, and that's
only Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah. He told him, he said, whoever has the number 1 pick, that's the only team that I'm meeting with. That's what he said.
That's crazy to me.
He was like, the only team I'm going to meet with is whoever has number 1. And Detroit, who would take Cade, I guess their owner is like, he doesn't do group thinking. You know what I'm saying? I was on YouTube, kind of thought like, just listening to some people. And like, Detroit fans are scared because they're like, yo, we say take Cade. We know who this dude is. And it's not in him to do, what the consensus says.
Yeah.
So I know Houston wants Cade bad from everything like I hear. And there could be a chance where you could probably see them. I'm not going to say it's possible. I say Detroit just take Cade, but you could probably see a 1-2 flip with a player.
I don't know, man. I think Detroit takes Jalen Suggs. I think they should take Jalen Suggs. Will they? No. I think they should take Jalen Suggs, man, because you got Evan Mobley there. You got Jalen Green still. Who else is coming out? Jonathan Kuminga, who I hate that dude. I don't know who he is. I ain't seen no highlights on him, but I hate that dude. You know why? Because you drafted him in 2K, and this dude was playing like LeBron James.
Yeah. So people say like the person who really does have the highest potential is him. It's like he's just a super athletic dude who can shoot, but he's streaky. So I kind of watch him and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But again, you get to the next level, it gets different.
Yeah.
I say Detroit takes. The reason why I say Detroit takes Cade is because Suggs will be the other option. But I don't think you should take Suggs because you took Killian Hayes unless you're going to give up on that project. I just think Cade's floor is too guaranteed to be a good player at minimum.
Yeah.
And so
does he fit? Does he fit over there next to Killian Hayes? Because it looks like they're handing Killian Hayes the keys, and then they got DeLon Wright sitting on the bench, who's still. He's still young, but
he started off rough, but he ended real good. I don't think Detroit has a chance. I don't think they can commit to Killian. I don't think they can commit to Killian that much, but I don't think they can. I don't think they can afford to. I don't think they can really afford to miss on this pick. That's why I say take Cade, 6'8" guy, 3-level scorer. At worst, you're getting a very good player. You know what I'm saying?
You're getting 15 points at least from him.
Yeah, 15, 8 and 5 minimum.
And I mean, if we're talking your draft, the way you draft and kind of your mentality going into, you say it all the time. You take the best player available.
Yep.
And I mean, I don't know if that fulfills here in the NBA too, because I know you're pretty heavily on that in the NFL.
Yeah.
But at this point, man, I don't know. The fit for me is either Jalen Suggs or Evan Mobley. Cade Cunningham makes sense though.
I don't take Evan because I actually like Stu. Bale,
what up, Bale?
I don't take Evan because I actually like Detroit center Stewart. If y'all see him, I actually like him.
Isaiah Stewart?
Yeah.
Yeah, that man's a fantasy beast.
Yeah, and I like and I actually like Sadiq Bey. So, both of them made all rookie teams. I actually like them too. So I'm kind of like, well, I got Stewart. He gives me old school bad boy vibes with the way he hits on the block and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So why not? And I know I say it too. I'd be like, yo, don't let a good player interfere with a great player. But again, if you have a question mark on Killian and you could kind of cover that question mark up with Cade, I'm going to take Cade or Suggs, but I'm going to take Cade. I'm taking Cade.
Yeah.
6'8", top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? That's who I'm taking.
What's up, Melissa?
What's up, y'all? What's happening?
So if you ask me how the first 3 picks should go, no trades, no nothing, it should be Cade 1. Houston shouldn't take Mobley because they got Christian Wood. You should take Jalen Green, and then the Cavs would be in the best spot ever if Mobley could fall to 3. Because then I feel like you might not even have to get rid of Sexton. I don't think Jared Allen's coming back.
Mobley's the center from USC.
Yeah, he reminds me of James Wiseman, to be honest with you. The way Mobley plays, he's a little bit more mobile. I think he's got a little bit more range to him. He's got a little bit of a better shooter. Yeah.
Is Jared Allen a free agent?
Yep.
For Cleveland?
Yep.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Yeah, Jared Allen's a free agent, and then they're talking about. I guess there was heavy talks about letting Colin Sexton go and trading him away.
Yeah. So I hear Sexton's on the block big time. And the perfect spot for me for Suggs will be Toronto.
Ooh, Toronto. You think he falls that low though?
Somebody has to. And again, if I'm Houston, I'll take Suggs. But again, I'm like, maybe I could take Jalen Green, who has this super high potential to get a bucket, and I'll let him grow beside John Wall for a year with Christian Wood. That's how I would do it. So it would be
what's crazy too is
Detroit. Yeah,
they also got Kevin Porter Jr.
Exactly.
And Kevin Porter,
I would take Jalen Green.
He's a bucket. Ollie, what do you think y'all do with the number 7 pick, man? What do you think the Golden State Warriors do? You think you guys stay in that spot, take number 7, or do you think you guys trade that pick away?
I think we might just keep that pick and then trade the 14th pick, if anything.
The 14th pick?
Yeah.
Sheesh. Because Davion Mitchell, I mean, they have you guys as a mock draft picking up Davion Mitchell.
Yeah, because the last 2 times we had number 7, we got Steph Curry and we got Harrison Barnes. Well, Harrison Barnes not that good, but he got a ring though. Got a ring.
Harrison Barnes was that dude, man. Y'all broke him when y'all traded him away though, or let him sign somewhere else. What was that, Vita?
I think if somebody who I think would low key be kind of cool over there and go to state, Jalen Johnson, dude from Duke, like 6'7", 6'8" forward, and I think you could even get him at 14. I don't even think you have to get him at 14. Because Davion Mitchell frustrates me not because he's the player, because I'm like, I thought Nico Mannion was doing pretty nice. I know it's 2 different. Yeah, I know it's 2 different types of players though. I thought Nico was doing cool.
I like Nico Mannion because he's not out there trying to get a bucket. He can get a bucket, but he's more out there trying to manage the offense, which I think is what Steve Kerr needs behind Steph Curry.
Yeah.
But they got a Jalen Johnson falling to 14.
Yeah. I would do Jalen Johnson.
If you guys do trade him, who do you think y'all trade him to? Trade number 14 to, Paulie? Ball is frozen.
The Wolves.
You could trade him to the Wolves?
Yeah.
For
Just
who?
because they don't got anybody to draft.
I would send
Because they
7 and
lost their pick.
14 to the Wolves for Cat.
Ooh, what do you do with Wiseman? You put that in the
Keep him.
package?
You keep him. Let Cat play 4. I don't think Cat wants to play the 5 anyway.
See, I also got a problem with
anyway.
dudes that are that dominant saying that they don't want to play. Like AD, I got the biggest problem with him saying he don't want to play the 5. We are the most successful when you're playing the 5. He also needs to fire his trainer. This man ain't been healthy one season.
Yeah. I think let Cat play 4. Let Wiseman stay at the 5. Draymond can move around from, just being versatile.
Damn, that would be interesting. Do you put Draymond on the bench or do you bring Wiseman off the bench?
You said the what?
Do you bring Draymond off the bench or do you put Wiseman on the bench?
Nah.
Or do you just leave that 5 with 3 bigs?
Yeah, I would leave that 5. Cat's in and out. Cat's in and out. Cat can move in and out. He's versatile. We know Cat can shoot.
Ooh, but that would be nasty to go from small ball to that lineup.
Yeah, Steph, Clay, Draymond, Cat, and Wiseman. Give up 7 and 14 to Minnesota. Let Minnesota deal with it.
I think if anything, we're gonna trade one of them to Minnesota.
So he's face.
That's nasty, bro. Because what gets on my nerves about that lineup, right, is I gotta play that in 2K when I'm playing the damn ranked.
Yeah.
I already can't guard Steph. Steph shoots logo threes. But I mean, damn, if you're thinking about that lineup, they're going from small ball to holy shit.
Yeah. And nothing changes. Like, I don't think nothing changes for them. I don't even think you have to change the type of ball that you play that you're normally used to playing. If that was to be so, I say you could give up one of them, but if I'm Golden State, I'm like, yo, we are a Clay injury away, and another player like away from really killing things again.
I'm being deep in the playoffs.
Take 7 and 14. Here, take 7 and 14. Bring me Cat. Y'all do with that what y'all want.
And y'all will still have Andrew Wiggins, which I think Andrew Wiggins came up for y'all last year. Like, his career was dying in Minnesota.
Yeah.
The person that messed it up for us was Kelly Oubre.
Oh my goodness, Kelly Oubre.
He destroyed our team with his shooting.
Yeah.
That went like 5 for 39 the first couple of games.
First couple of games, he was like 0 for like 60. I don't care what nobody said.
And he kept shooting. Steph was over there like, hey man, keep shooting. In his head, he was like, you better pass this damn ball.
Yeah, don't shoot, guys. Don't shoot.
Mm-hmm. And he had that 140-point game. I was like, oh, you good? And then after that, he went back to normal.
And then he got hurt again.
Yeah.
It's another one of Coach's favorite players right there.
Tsunami Poppy.
Yeah, he might go back to there.
All right, so that moves us over into Sha'Carri Richardson qualifying for the Olympics. I don't see anybody that gets in her way of her winning gold, man.
Nah.
Bro, you see her bling on her running day? Oh my goodness.
Bruh.
I was like, they dress like this now? They do all this? She had the 20-inch nails and everything. I was like, God.
For real, that's like,
she came out there like,
how's your hands go down? Like,
she scares you because she's always last out of the blocks. And you're like, is this? And like,
bro, on some Usain Bolt stuff. Usain Bolt was a terrible starter off the blocks. But man, once you get 20, 30 meters down and she's winning and you see her point halfway to the finish line, like, look at that time. I'm going to win. That's scary, man.
That's scary. That brings up to like the bad sports media. You know what I'm saying? Because we get like, I don't even like, you got Simone who's just still killing it in the Olympics. And all that stuff. Yeah, Gabby, like all these people who are still killing it, and like they like House of Highlights act like they can't say something without LeBron. Bleacher Report act like they can't say something without Zion. You're like, yo, you got all these quality people out here doing stuff. and this is still what y'all talk about.
I mean, you knew it was a problem when you had Skip Bayless on TV talking about, yeah, the Lakers are gonna come back and win, and LeBron is gonna come out and put them on his. I'm like, Skip, skill,
Yeah,
skill,
yeah, man.
skill.
Deplorable.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like that, couldn't do it. It like that just like I think they said during the time like the whole Jake Paul, Logan Paul, like they was like, yo, they out of all these media outlets had like 60 total posts, and then like they only like the women only got like 3, and they're going to the Olympics and stuff. And you're just like, come on. Man.
It's crazy, man. The Olympics used to be something that like vaulted you into getting so many different deals and
Bruce Jenner hit Caitlyn Jenner with the Wheaties box. Like
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle said it. He said, you know how much of Bruce cereal I ate? Because he was running faster than Africans. It was like that was unheard of. A white man from America running faster than Africans. Like, you're just like, wow, bro. It really is. It's different. It's a different time. It's a different time.
Sha'Carri
That's
Richardson.
like,
Did she qualify for the 100 meter?
Yeah, I believe 100. I see, like I saw the top like Instagram follower page. Like 3 of them are soccer players, like Ronaldo and Messi and so.
Oh yeah, Ronaldo has like 400, something like that.
Yeah.
And then the next one ain't even close.
Yeah. Like LeBron barely cracks the list. Like, and he's like, we got shrines at him over here.
I don't know, man. The Olympics are gonna be fun to watch this year. And then damn, what the hell is her name? She qualified for her 5th Olympics. I can't even remember her name.
And there's some swimmer girl. I can't remember too.
Oh yeah. I saw that.
I just lost her name too.
What was crazy though?
It was like something Franklin.
Yeah, she came in second, and first place was in first place by a lot.
That's crazy. 1 second, y'all. Right.
Like a lot. That's the Olympics, man. 2020, 2021. We're in 2021. 2021 Tokyo Olympics.
Legit, like a month from now.
Yeah, that is a month from now. Damn. All right, man. Next thing we got is the state of boxing. I know Vita wants to talk a little bit about that. But what do y'all got on the state of boxing? I know shit is kind of weird, especially with the whole Jake Paul, Logan Paul out here fighting some scrubs.
He's fucking ruining it, man.
I think it sucks.
He's ruining it.
Yeah, it's not. I don't feel like watching boxing anymore.
Man, and it's crazy because there's still some good fighters out there. Like you still got Tank.
Garcia.
Garcia is a good fighter too.
Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Davis.
And we got that Wilder Fury #3 coming too.
Yeah.
And that one still don't even seem as hype as the damn Jake Paul and Logan Paul fights, bro. And it's sad.
Wilder's gonna get knocked out again.
Probably.
Chief Hadouken. Oh yeah, Sha'Carri definitely winning gold.
Oh yeah, Sha'Carri. Oh man, they should just give him the gold medal already.
You got the Charlo twins. Who I think they go under the radar. The Charlo twins is them dudes are some dogs.
We in here.
But we on the state of boxing. Yeah, man.
State of boxing.
Them 2 dudes. They some dogs, but I don't know, man. There's just something weird about these YouTubers, bruh.
State of boxing fell off to me when Floyd and Pacquiao didn't fight when everybody was asking.
Floyd didn't want that fight.
Yeah, he fought him like 10 years later, man, when Pacquiao was done with boxing.
Exactly.
My man was the governor of his own country and everything, bro. My man went, I was like, bro, really? My man's the governor now? You asking to fight him now? Like, my man is playing, bro. Like,
that man was taking his winnings to go fix potholes in the Philippines.
For real, bro.
Man.
Man, the whole governor now, he wanted to fight him. Like,
man, he probably lost all his respect after losing that fight too. He's like,
Pacquiao,
he just got whooped.
Mr. Manny, sir, after your meeting, what are you doing?
Mr.
I got to train Floyd.
I'm going to fight Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah. Thank you for passing school taxes, Mr. Manny. No problem.
He said, I'm going to fight
Like, oh no.
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather.
Mayweather.
Going to fight
So,
Floyd
like, for
Mayweather.
me, that was the drop of boxing because growing up, as far as I know, we always saw the best fighters fight each other next. That's always what it's been. Always what it's been. It's always like, I think the first fight that I remember really watching was like Fernando Vargas and Tito Ortiz, and it was like them two dudes was banging. It was like lightweight, and it was fighting, and then Ortiz won, and next fight was like, oh, you got to go fight De La Hoya. Like De La Hoya won, like you got to go fight Bernard Hopkins. Like you had to keep going to the next person. It wasn't like no, like
I'm gonna pick
granted,
my next fight.
Yeah. You had like you really fought the next person. You fought the next person who was the best. Remember the Lennox Lewis era, the whole heavyweight era, like Butterbean, David Tua. We saw them fighting each other. You know what I'm saying?
Hasim Rahman,
like you saw the best fighters fighting each other. I even remember like the UFC days, like for me early on, and again, I don't know too much about it, but like who was it? Like Ortiz and Iceman just kept seeming to fighting each other. I felt like they fought each other like every 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, Randy Couture.
Remember Matt Hughes? I think like Matt Hughes.
Man, that was a bad boy too.
So he met BJ Penn.
BJ Penn gave him the meats.
Now BJ Penn's going to sleep in the middle of the streets. Oh my goodness. Freaking BJ Penn.
That guy too busy taking care of his whole damn island.
Yeah.
We'll buy you a house in another state, damn it, where you don't know anyone.
Yeah.
Boy got pin slapped next year.
In his area from his governor. Go live in the Pacquiao county.
I'm going to fight Floyd Mayweather.
When the California kid came around, that's kind of when I tapped out of UFC.
California kid? Damn, he's hella old. Uriah Faber?
Yeah.
Uriah Faber? Oh, Lord.
He's like 40-something years old now.
He fought like a couple months ago. I'm like, bro, you're like a fucking skeleton now, bro. Get off this damn octagon, bro. Oh, my God.
Fighting
and then, like, Mr. Burns and braids over there. Like, chill out, bro.
Excellent. Yeah, I don't know, man. Boxing is in a weird place right now, and I don't even think the Wilder Fury fight is gonna do anything to it. I think the biggest fight for us to see right now is Tank and what's that other kid's name?
Garcia.
Ryan Garcia. That's gonna be the next big fight that we gotta see.
But it's dragging out and it's gonna lose its punch. Dragging out and it's gonna lose its punch, and then we're just gonna sit here and be like,
boxing usually does that shit.
Because don't Tank get this fight this Saturday or like in a couple weeks or something like that?
Yeah, Tank fights who the hell does he fight? He fights some nobody, bro. Like Mario.
Make a Ryan Garcia fight. Why are you making him buddies? Like
he fights Mario Barrios.
Mario Barrios.
Yeah, you're just like what?
What the hell?
Who was the dude? I can't remember. Who was the dude that knocked out Joshua Anthony? Man,
the Mexican dude.
Yeah,
he lost hella weight.
Yeah,
Andy Ruiz.
And you're like, it's not even supposed to be no disrespect to you, but that was supposed to be the Wilder Joshua. But again, you got held off, and y'all keep doing this stuff, and like, so I understand athletes keeping their power, but you're losing the sport. Like you're losing the sport people grew up on.
I think I think boxing doesn't have what they're missing is they're missing a Dana White.
Yep.
Because Dana White's on some hell nah. You just fought last month. You should be ready for your next fight.
Yes.
Like we need you to fight that person right now. Like we need that.
He keeps it real during the press conferences too.
Oh yeah. This fool's like, I was mad when he was talking shit about Mark Hunt, but he kept it real. He was like, Mark don't want to fight nobody because they tested negative 10 years ago or they tested positive 10 years ago for PEDs. That's Mark Hunt's fault. He lost out on the fight. I was like, I hate you, but you're right.
Yeah. And so like I seen there was like I see the YouTuber fight card that they had like a week ago
The
or
YouTube
something.
versus TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
I was like,
That was a good card.
I didn't even bother watching it. It was good.
Oh man.
I didn't know until like I looked up and I was like, somebody, there was like a Jake Paul video that just popped up and he was like, yeah, all these YouTubers fighting mad annoying. And I was like, what is he talking about? Then the next thing I see is like these YouTubers and TikTokers banging. And I was like,
I think I seen the Bryce Hall fight.
They kind of low key throwing some shots around.
He got worked.
Bryce Hall got worked.
Worked.
He got
By a
worked.
guy who never set foot in the ring, he got worked. That guy looked like a pro. I said, bro. Oh my goodness, like a pro that day.
I seen that fight. I was like, good God, no.
That wasn't that YouTuber that got dropped.
Yeah. So you're just like, again, you're like, there's a lot of we're seeing more non-professional fights broadcasted when they're like quicker than we are seeing the fights we should be seeing.
Facts. We got to get TTE ESPN on there.
Fighting. We could probably call up somebody and they can come fight us.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna call out Jake Paul and make us $1 million.
Yeah. We
gonna make more. We gonna make more money than we have followers. I ain't even worried. We all gonna eat.
Oh.
Like you have 3 viewers when you stream. Like, so what? I got these hands.
3 viewers, 2 hands. What you need?
Yeah, like I don't need.
Those 3 people don't want to see these hands. They're smart. So you need to join along.
Yeah.
Get us to 10K, and all 10K don't want to see the hands. What's good?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I think boxers just have to take their sport back. Like, who's just lost his name? Earl Spence.
Yeah.
Nice. Earl Spence is nice. But you're just like, man, you feel like dude's getting lost because of everything else that's going on.
He's just, I don't know, man. UFC is just, they just fight so frequently. Like, UFC fights so frequently. They got free shows. They got free episodes that are still big cards on Fox. And you got these damn these damn pay-per-view boxing fights that ain't nobody gonna pay $69.99 twice a month to watch some dudes that they only see fight once a year.
Exactly.
I want to see that. But we all agree boxing is dookie right now. They need to kind of take it back. I think this one will be this question will be Pale and Molesi's favorite, man. Your favorite UFC fight and your favorite UFC fighter.
Oh man. I've had so many over the years that they've all fallen off. My goodness. Started with Rashad Evans, moved to Conor McGregor.
JDS.
What's that one fight with Diego Sanchez?
The one where they were going at it?
That's what the long hair dude.
Not Cub Swanson, Clay Guida.
Yeah,
Guida.
Clay Guida. Oh my God.
That was a war.
What else fight there was?
There's that I think mine was the BJ Penn and the Sean Shirk fight.
Ooh.
The one where BJ Penn need him to finish him and then used his blood. He licked his blood after he dropped him.
Man.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite fighter right now?
Right now, oh, that's Izzy, bro. That's Izzy because he's from my dad's hometown, bro. So I gotta support my guy.
Adesanya. Yeah,
Izzy's different.
I gotta go with Adesanya too, man. Just because he's a huge anime buff too. And I mean, shoot, we talk about anime all the time, but this fool, when I seen this fool, the thing that got it for me is when he stepped into the ring one time and he started writing on his hand like he was writing in a Death Note.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, that dude is done. I don't know who he's fighting. He's gonna lose. He wrote your name down.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Favorite fight? Man, I probably gotta go with, I don't know. It'll probably be a recent fight.
Many.
I like the way that Adesanya picked apart Paulo Costa. Because at any moment, I thought Paulo Costa was going to drop him.
That was Frankie Edgar and what's it? What's that other guy's name? Some nobody too. I think his name is Maynard.
Oh, great.
Maynard.
That fight was a war too.
I forgot all about Maynard.
I like a lot of Cowboy Cerrone's fights. I liked watching too. Cause you know he's gonna head kick you. You know he's gonna head kick you, and you still get head kicked. I don't know.
Some of the greatest fights of all time too.
Cowboy Cerrone. But all right, this is the segment that I've been waiting for. The special segment.
Yep.
The truth about Kwame and Ben Simmons. Now there's levels to it. There's 5 bullet points to it. All right. The first one is, did they have unrealistic expectations coming out of college, coming into the NBA? Second one is their personal work ethic. We're gonna work our way through all 5. Third one is, can we expect better? Is Ben Simmons gonna get better? Right. The fourth one is humanizing the athletes, which I think we can probably get into a pretty good conversation about that. And then the fifth one, mental bullying of social media. So we're gonna start at the top. Ben Simmons, Kwame Brown.
To be talked about. Kwame Brown doesn't deserve to be in this segment.
So East, the reason why he does is it ties right in. Number 1 pick, right? Both of them number 1 picks, correct?
Yeah.
I don't remember Kwame's expectations coming in.
They were high.
It was very high. Very
way
high.
Up there.
They were supposed to be Kobe and Shaq again high. That's how high it was. That's how
sure
high
was.
Yeah, when this fool Michael Jordan drafted him, it was, I'm gonna draft you. You're gonna be the best big in the NBA, and that's kind of what launch padded Michael Jordan to be like, bet I'm coming back now. I got the number 1 pick, and I'm coming back.
Yeah. So it's like you kind of ask yourself like, because then I remember they went back and they threw that whole draft class, and I think the only other person who did anything from that draft, I think Tyson Chandler was in that draft class, and I think that was it. I think everybody else who was in that draft class bummed out. I just think it was almost like the Anthony Bennett draft class. Like I can't even remember anybody else who came from that one.
Anthony Bennett draft class.
Yeah. Like I even think in football terms, I remember Melissa might help me out. Like the Tyson Jackson draft class. Like I think like it was like the year or two after the whole Reggie Bush draft class, maybe like 08 or something. Like that. I think only Hopkins might have been like, like it was like nobody from them classes was good when they actually got to the league.
Yes, because we drafted a freaking guy who was a firefighter in the first round, bro. This guy was a firefighter, and we drafted him. Oh my God, what is this guy's name? He was a center. Oh my, that was the most trash pick I have ever seen in my life, bro. Because they you know how people have highlights on their film and everything? His highlight was him in his goddamn uniform, bro. Oh, bro. Oh, no. Oh, no way. You ain't got no highlights. You got your, I'm a firefighter on the freaking screen right now. I'm done with you, bro. I am so, oh my.
I could drag this hose hella fast.
What is his name?
I could drag this hose hella fast.
He's a first round pick and got voluntary service in a highlight.
Oh my goodness. What is what his
Oh God, no. So it's like
leave it to the Eagles, man.
Yeah, let's go to Ben then, since it's more relevant. It like I say relevant, but they tie together. Kwame number 1.
I wouldn't say relevant.
Yeah,
but see, Simmons made All NBA though. That's the difference between him and Kwame.
And
he also made All NBA. All NBA first team too in defense, Ben Simmons. So he's shown that he can be elite. It's just like you just fade off, bro, and it's just amazing how big your fade off is. It's because like we seen you at your peak, bro. You missed a triple double, and then when you're at your low, you're a nobody.
When Ben came out, like when Ben was coming in, his comparison was LeBron and Magic. That's all I remember hearing. Is he could be like LeBron and Magic. He could be like LeBron and Magic.
Yeah,
big guy, handle the ball defensively, passer. is if he could get his shooting together. Clearly, something isn't happening that does that. But like Melissa said, he's Rookie of the Year, All NBA third team his second year, 3 years in a row All-Star, 2 years in a row first team defense. And then people are like, you know what? Maybe our expectations of you was just completely off. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you are more of a Draymond and a Rudy Gobert than you are a Magic and a LeBron. Which isn't bad because Draymond's going to the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
Like Draymond's going to the Hall of Fame. So you ask yourself like at some point too, like because we have a bad habit of like how to already crowning Booker the next Kobe. But I saw somebody today be like, yeah, but Kobe at 24 had 32 a game in a couple of rings.
Yeah. Three of them.
Yeah. It's like we put people in these boxes so fast without them ever having a body of work behind it. You're just like, what? Like, at some point, I start to blame the scouts and the media for what.
I think it's all the media's fault, man. Because I mean, it's like the thing to do right now is to compare a player coming into the NBA to a player that's already in the NBA, right? Like they compared John Morant to a healthy D Rose, and I was like, what? No, no. And then they I think they compared Zion Williamson to being a more athletic Julius Randle. And it's like, what? And I mean, so
I heard Barkley references too for Zion.
And so I think that's where it's frustrating when you got guys like Luka, even Luka, Ben Simmons coming into the league. Like, yeah, they could be a LeBron James type player. Like, so I don't get where the media says this is a once in a lifetime player. And then they're gonna compare that once in a lifetime player to have the similar traits or to have traits in other players like Ben Simmons and Luka.
And that's what puts the pressure on them, and they like fold like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
for example, if you were to take Chris Paul off the Suns, and I'm not saying Cameron Payne ain't balling, but you might be putting Booker in a position to like where they might try to force him. Yeah. You might try to force Steve Booker to be more of an initiator with the ball instead of being a dude who catches and goes get a bucket. You know what I'm saying? Like we see him drop dimes, but he's more effective when he can be like, yo, when the ball's in my hand, I'm to the rim. I'm not looking to like facilitate or initiate an offense. Like it's about me putting the pressure on the defense and then letting it collapse from there. So you got Ben who's like, if I'm running Ben, and I'm Ben's, like, if I'm the Philadelphia 76ers, Ben Simmons is a power forward from now on. Like, he's not with the ball at the top of the key anymore, trying to run a pick and roll or initiate an offense. Because he's a fairly good back to the basket post up player. Because he usually has a mismatch on him. Like, go on a block where you're effective, around the rim where you're effective, and now let me go find me another guy who can go give me a pull up. Who can and now if you get the rebound, take off. Go do Giannis things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you get a rebound, take off, but you initiating the offense, like that has to stop.
Yeah.
Because again, it's not where he's at.
I think that's where looking at a Ben Simmons and as far as the expectations of him coming into the league, man, like there was already questions because he didn't really have too much tape out of LSU because he was playing in Australia. But for me, man, I think the media just continues to be more and more outrageous as far as the expectations for these dudes because you got Zion Williamson. He had the most hype that I have ever seen. Like they won't let the Zion hype die at all. Like the fact that he didn't the fact that he didn't get into the playoffs this year was already a stab to the media because they couldn't talk about that. Right. So then losing LeBron, losing Ja, and not having that next dude to be the face of the NBA and having these expectations is just continuing to kill these dudes, man. So
Pelicans, they probably have the most young talent in the league too.
They really do.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely.
something's wrong with that ownership and GM stuff because they constantly like.
Van Gundy was not it over there. He's never been it.
He's never been it, so I don't even know why they tried that.
I'm gonna take this off just a little bit before we get back to these topics. There are certain coaches in the NBA that should not coach again. I don't care. I don't care if your name carries weight. If you ain't got nothing to show for it, Jeff Van Gundy, what was he coaching the Pistons that one year that they won? You took the Magic. You took the Magic to the finals, and then got smashed by the Lakers. So to me, Van Gundy shouldn't be coaching ever again. He shouldn't be a head coach. Who else? Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni should not be a coach anywhere.
He's assistant to Nash.
Yeah, like stay an assistant. You should not be a head coach. You got dudes like David Fisdale. You got Mike Brown, who he messes up one team in the Lakers, and I ain't seen this dude be a head coach anywhere.
I still don't understand why Fisdale doesn't have a job.
He's probably one of the most loved coaches from all the players, from everything that everyone says, and he's not a coach. And then you got Monty Williams is showing like, yo, look, I got my locker room. I've been in player development with these dudes. I played basketball. Like, I know what I'm talking about. But
I think what Houston's coach is Steven Silas, right?
Yeah, Steven Silas.
And he's nice. He's nice. You know what I'm saying? And so I like him. But like you're right, there's some coaches who just y'all do not need or deserve another chance. Your time is up. You know what I'm saying? I don't like remember Utah Jazz had the whole Jerry Sloan thing where they were just winning, never winning it. Winning, never winning it though. Like people like Quinn Snyder, like I just look at Quinn Snyder exactly the same. I'm like, you're just the same dude over there, bro. Like you're not gonna I don't fear you, bro.
Like to me, Doc Rivers is getting there.
Oh no, Doc is done for me. Doc is getting there. Like everyone they are proving that you were the problem. Yeah. Last year for the Clippers. Even when I get on 2K and I'm messing around with the 76ers, like this off of GP, I fired Doc. Yeah, I fired Doc. Doc, you're fired off the bat. Yeah, it's like A+, A-, A+, but I'm like, you don't deserve to be here. You gotta go. Yeah.
Go join your son on the bench.
Go join your son on the bench in whatever team he's playing for. Yeah. But taking it back, man. Taking it back to kind of what we were talking about before. I know a big thing is the second piece of this is a personal work ethic. I know there's been a lot of reports of Ben Simmons being somebody that don't want to work. He don't want to get into the gym. He don't want to put in the work. What are y'all thoughts on that, man? What do y'all think?
I think that's why people tap out, and I think that's the almost like the AAU culture that's coming up too. They said we crown people so fast. You crown people so fast that this is what happens. And who was like I remember with Kwame's interview though. Kwame said he had a lot of injuries in the beginning. Nobody was talking about. Mm-hmm. Ben had an injury. You've been good since you came back. You know what I'm saying? And they really aren't holding punches with you. Like they really are saying you don't work out. Like, you just go to the gym and hoop. And that's not what you need to be doing, bro. That's not what you need to be doing. Because there's one specific part of your game. The entire world is like, yo, just get this together. You don't want to do it. Yeah. So, if all those reports are true, that's why I say, well, Ben Simmons don't call him a point guard no more. Power forward that just can push transition. That's it.
What do you think about so Pali? What do you think about if this dude gets in? If he actually gets into the gym? Obviously, LeBron is somebody that's hugely influenced to him, which continues to surprise me. Right? Like, how are you not tapping into one of the most influential players in the NBA the last 20 years? But if he does get in the gym, where do you think Ben Simmons is going to be next year? Do you think the 76ers keep him? You think they trade him? You think he develops some sort of a jump shot next year?
I think they trade him and like they're gonna find him like a mentor that just puts him down, and he's gonna be working. That's like all I can really say about that. He needs to find a mentor.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The 76ers, they're all kind of young too. Besides Danny Green.
Danny Green.
Yep.
Yeah. And Dwight Howard's not a mentor. Like,
Yeah.
by any means.
by any means, no.
I did like how he stood up for him though, but Dwight, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know how it goes, Dwight.
I don't know, man. To me, Ben Simmons, yeah, unrealistic expectations for sure. But his work ethic is also supporting kind of him not getting better. We talked about it the other day, right? At a certain point in the NBA player's career, they are what they're gonna be. Like,
Yeah.
and it just continues to blow my mind that it's only dudes like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, these other dudes, Kawhi Leonard, who are actually getting in the gym with the Hakeem Olajuwons, the Tim Duncans, the Gary Paytons. Like, you got so many of these legends out there that you can tap into, and you don't.
If I'm an OG,
he's fit in though. If he does get traded.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben.
I had my perfect spot for Ben, but I believe it's the perfect spot for Ben.
With Sacramento?
Portland.
Ooh,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Portland too. Yeah.
Portland?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking Portland too.
You're not handling. It's not your job to handle, and it's not a very good defensive team. I'm bringing a first defensive team player to Portland, whose his career stats is still 15, 8, and 7. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing you to support Dame, defensive guy who, if we want to run small ball, you could be the 5, you could be the 4, whatever. They still have what's his name, Nurkic, right?
Yeah,
Nurkic, who's really, really good. I mean, I don't know if you can get rid of McCollum or whatever you could do with that. But even if you just to take Ben and take him to Portland, I feel like that makes them a way better team because, again, he's still all-team first defensive player.
Yeah, I was thinking Portland too, man.
Yeah, he still pushes traffic. Like, that's the perfect spot. He either has to go to Portland to me, or like you said, you send him to Minnesota. You can just go do what the hell you want, Ben. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go to a team that has nothing to lose. So you can just
see, a move like that to me makes more sense. Just because, like, if I see him getting traded over to Portland, right? I don't know if that's enough for Dame to be able to look at this dude and be like, everything I done heard about you, yeah, you're 19, 9, and 7, all defensive first team. I don't think he makes him better though.
I do. I think again, I'm gonna go off the strength that he's playing power forward. Right. That's the strength I'm going off of. He's not my guard. He's not handling. Dame's handling all of that. Dame is handling all of that. When we need somebody locked up, Ben, it's your job to go do. You're coming to Portland to be my Draymond. That's what you're coming to Portland to be.
You think he buys into that though?
He has to.
I think he has to. Because it's reports, but I've heard that him and Embiid have never been that close. Like,
and Damian Lillard, that guy's work ethic is ridiculous. So.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I don't know, man. I would much rather see Ben Simmons go somewhere where he can just go and wreck the team, bro. Like, I think Ben Simmons is a victim of experiencing way too much success this early in his career and not having to put in the work. You know what I mean? Like, they were a shot away from the NBA Finals last year. And if they went to the NBA Finals, they'd have beat the Warriors because KD would have still got hurt. Clay would have still got hurt. And I think they would have beat the Warriors. Ain't nobody on the Warriors holding Embiid last year. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I look at it like this dude is he's got it, yeah, but also like he's seen nothing but success in the beginning of his career.
He said, yeah, so he has to now become a number 2.
A number 3.
A number, yeah. So I say number 2 because, again, I'm standing off the principle of, again, wherever he's sending him, I have to send him in the Draymond role. I have to send him. You're going to go be for that team what Draymond is for Golden State. Defensive, if you catch the ball behind the 3-point line, it was designed that way. You're going to be free throw line down. You know what I'm saying? And again, if you get the rebound, push traffic, push transition, and go do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But beyond that, you give the ball to Dame, and you move out the way.
Yeah.
And what if, like, Portland adds, like, a Kawhi Leonard to the team because, he's a free agent, too?
Yeah. Which is one of the moves where I'm kind of like, it could happen.
Yeah, it could happen. And then
So I
Portland
guess
has a threat.
I guess that answers the third question as far as can we expect better from Ben and dudes that come in with these expectations, which is
he is what I firmly believe he is what he is. I don't think he's going to become no career 30% 3-point shooter.
yeah.
I don't think he's going to become. I definitely do. Now, if you put him in a Portland situation in the fourth quarter, he's going to get shots because Dame's going to take all the pressure off of him.
Yeah.
So he's going to get the easier. I can't even say easier buckets because he passed off that dunk. You know what I'm saying? He'll be in a better position. He'll be in a better position. He will
They're talking
definitely
about
be.
Melo. Melo's not going to be there next year either.
Oh yeah.
I guess he's a favorite to sign with the Lakers, and I ain't just saying that because I'm a Lakers fan, but
Yeah. Now he's Portland. Portland is ideal for him, and I think
That's what I
Portland.
think.
I think Portland is the best beneficial spot for him.
all right.
I do.
So hopping in,
Especially if they pick up. I think they're supposed to get Chauncey or something. I think
Chauncey
Chauncey's there
Billups
when
in the front office.
Or Becky Hammond or something like that.
Becky
Becky
Hammond,
Hammond.
yeah. Becky Hammond would be dope because she'd be bringing over that whole pop, all of that pop knowledge.
Yeah.
But kind of take it into the next piece. I think this plays into more than just like a Ben Simmons thing. We've seen Naomi Osaka go through it. We've seen Serena Williams go through it. We've seen Kyrie go through it a lot. You know, whether or not people want to believe whatever his reasons are. But humanizing the athletes.
Yep.
You know, just being able to give them, like I think we look at the athletes as, you know, you signed a contract, you should fulfill it, you should do this, you should do that. We saw, you know, Marshawn Lynch most famously a couple years back in the Super Bowl.
Aaron Rodgers now.
Aaron Rodgers now.
Deshaun
Watson,
and
Russell Westbrook, Ben
Westbrook.
Simmons. Shit, you know, there's just been a bunch of situations.
It made me think of Ben specifically, and then like you said, how we dealt with Kwame's situation. We didn't deal with it. How the Kwame situation happened, because you was very emphatic. You were like, I feel like Kwame's flavor at the moment. You know what I'm saying? And he was. And he was. Obviously, people aren't spamming that up no more. But again, like, you know, it said, 20 years of nobody saying, people talking about you, and finally you speaking up. And now you're like, oh, this guy isn't just a jersey, the actual human being under this jersey who has feelings and who has a mind and who has all this and that. And then, like, you're Ben Simmons, and then you miss. And then, like, I get to, I'm at work, and then, like, I'm just scrolling YouTube, and I'm like, Ben Simmons. Like, I can't even find nothing else on YouTube or anything that isn't talking about Ben Simmons for the next 24 hours, at least, until the next game happens. And it's like, imagine if you leave work, and, like, 60 people are standing outside the job like, you suck today, my guy. Like, oh, damn.
I couldn't deal with that.
I'm,
I'm firing on somebody.
Just 60 people standing outside the job like, you suck today. Took longer on break than you were supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Like, just imagine that, bro. Like, you'll be like, damn, this sucks. Like, immediately, like, you're critiqued immediately. You know what I'm saying? About, like, just what you're doing. And you're just like, wow, like, that would suck being somebody be like, I'm about to go on Facebook to see some memes. And you're like, wow, they still roasting me? Let me get up out of here.
They still talking about this. I think that almost takes it a step further too, beyond Ben Simmons, right? We know how much of a cult there is that hates LeBron James.
Yeah.
And this is what's he in year 18? 18 years of this man's career, that's all he's heard, right? And obviously he's conditioned himself to, whatever. I'm gonna ignore that. But then comparing that to a Ben Simmons right now, who mentally, I don't know if this dude is gonna be there next year. Like he's probably checked the hell out. You know what I mean? Like a Kyle Kuzma. Lakers fans are brutal. Lakers fans are brutal. They wrote off Kyle. What they say his middle name was?
Alexander Kuzma.
Man, Kyle Alexander Kuzma. They wrote this dude off after the second and third game of the elimination games for the Lakers. And now they just saying that this dude is checked out. He ain't at the Lakers facility. He's just ready to be traded.
Yeah. And that's what it's like. So I saw like a Lou Williams clip today of him on $1 Million a Game podcast. And they was just kind of like, do you feel people lose their love of the game? And he was like, yeah. He said, because it's such a business. And he was like, with media now, he was like, yeah. He said, I know people who are just hooping for a check now. He said, just like I know. He said, like, I know there's people who prefer to play overseas. because they actually get to play and still love the game. He said, just like I know there's dudes in the league who shouldn't be in the league at all.
Yeah.
He was like, and then he brought up a good point too, where like Lou Williams said he never made over $10 million a year in any season he's played. But the number one pick coming in this year is probably going to make 15 in his first year in the league.
That's crazy. I think that's where there's an avenue, for athletes. Hey, what's up, Vince? I think that's where there's an avenue for athletes, especially looking at like a Naomi Osaka. There is no team.
Yeah.
There is no team to dictate your success. Your success is based on you. And I think everybody is like, as far as you're winning, everything is all, sunshine and rainbows. She's winning, but she's still hating every bit about what it is. Right? Yeah. And I mean, I always see this on like First Take. I always see this from Stephen A. Big Head Ass Smith. I don't like Stephen Smith. If that ain't clear, how he's like, you signed a contract. You're contractually obligated to talk to the media because. Yeah. And I think the biggest reason he gave was we can't advertise this sport if you're not talking to us. We can't bring hype and viewers to the sport if you're not talking to us. Like, are you sure? Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm looking at the media and they're writing their own narratives, and that's why dudes don't talk to the media. Specifically, Russell Westbrook, Kyrie Irving, Marshawn Lynch, most famously.
With like Gary V said, he said our generation is missing Mike Trout. He's probably the best baseball player. Easily, he's in the argument, right?
Oh, easily.
Mike Trout. Yeah, but he was like, because the MLB has a like social media contract with their players, they're not allowed to do the extra production stuff that we see with NFL and NBA players. Yep. And they were like, they don't even really do interviews or nothing. But it's not affecting the MLB's money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not affecting their dollars because the MLB was like, yo, this is how we want to run it. Yeah, times have changed, but it's not affecting our dollars, and we don't care about none of that. So this is what we're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? You're just kind of like, wow, like, and you feel like players have to take, like in the NFL sense, you have to take an Aaron Rodgers avenue. Like, I'm just not gonna do it because y'all not like y'all don't got my back. Y'all really are using me like a number.
Yeah.
Y'all really are using me just like a player. Like I'm just a jersey. So yeah, it's. And the
MLB's money ain't affected because they're still out here signing 10-year, $600 million contracts. So it's like,
and what aren't they the only league with no cap?
Only league,
zero. Only league with no cap. They can spend whatever they want to spend, whatever the owner decides he wants to spend. They can do that. Like, and it's something that the NFL should be able to do, but. Selfishly, the owners don't want to do
amount of like physicality in that game.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Plus, I mean, if you're looking at the NFL, they got the market monopolized. There is no other NFL league. Like the XFL came in and failed. There's the Euro League came in, died. The Canadian League came in, died. You got semi-pro football in the Arena League. That's like for dudes like us that just want to go and hit somebody. You know what I mean? I could get on the team. I could get on the Utah Blaze tomorrow if I wanted to.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. This is same with the NBA, right? The NBA proves day in and day out, year in and year out, whether it be the Olympics, FIBA basketball, that worldwide, it's the best league in the world. People are going to watch.
Yep.
Absolutely. So like, as far as it goes with humanizing the athletes, man, I think there's just so much there that is missed that I don't know. I think sooner or later you're gonna have dudes that just don't want to. They'd rather pay the $125,000,
So what was it?
Fine than talk to the media.
As a Carolina fan, they asked Sam Darnold, did he get vaccinated? Right?
Yeah.
Sam originally said no. He was like, I'm doing my research. No, I haven't.
Yeah.
There's still COVID restrictions on teams with vaccinations. If you're not a vaccinated player, you can only work out with like 15 people in there. You can't eat with the team. You have to wear a mask. Your practice time is limited and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so like, but they also have something in the contract that if you're a non-vaccinated player, you can't do interviews after the game.
At all.
So some of these players are like, off the strength of not having to talk to y'all.
Yeah.
I'm not
getting vaccinated.
Yeah, I'm not going to get vaccinated. Just so I don't have to talk to y'all.
Facts.
That's it.
I think Cole Beasley came out and said the same thing too just recently.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna live my life. If I die from this thing, then I die from this thing. Like,
yeah,
even if it was here yesterday, it's still gonna be here tomorrow. Like, if it ain't COVID, it's gonna be the flu. It's gonna be something gonna get me. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
yeah. So it's like, yeah, you just like,
I don't know.
again,
I
some
think
questions should be more personal, but
there's still such an opportunity there to ask different questions, man. Like, I don't know. I think that's why I look at it. And like, if we had the chance to get somebody on here, an athlete, last thing I'd be asking them about is, you know, shit that they hear every single day.
Every day.
From every single reporter.
Every day.
Yeah, mix it up, man, because they hear the same thing over and over again, and it's going to be
Again,
irritating.
The people, like right now, people have nothing to hate on with LeBron because he's not around. He's just chilling, doing his own thing.
Soon as Space Jam drops, they going to hate the hell out of him, though.
And again, granted, we can't stop human nature, and there's just some people in their minds who are just, as Dave Chappelle would like to call them, just haters. They just go forever be haters, no matter what you do. If you gave 1 million people $1,000, they'll be like, "Why didn't you give 2 million people $1,000?" There's always gonna be somebody who's never satisfied.
I'm gonna go to an NBA game and do what they do at MLB games. Be like LeBron or AD, right hand MP5, left hand Uzi.
Yeah.
He gonna be like,
so it's like, I think people really forget, like, yo, these is genuinely people under these jerseys, man. Like, these are genuine people who are in these jerseys, and they're just playing the game that they love, living their life, bro. And sometimes we just got to remember, too, like, you know what? I wouldn't want to have a bad day at work and have 1 million people tell me about my bad day at work. You know what I'm saying?
1 million people tweet me talking about I suck. Yo, Bobby, what's this topic? We're talking about humanizing the athletes, man. Boxing ain't dead. Boxing is super dead. You crazy.
If Jake Paul runs the headlines of boxing, then it's a problem, bro.
Yeah.
But the last piece kind of, you know, goes into what we were already talking about is just the mental bullying of social media, right? Like, I think we underestimate how much mental fortitude it takes for these dudes not to look at Twitter like a regular person and see their name trending as a hashtag talking about Ben Simmons trash because
trade Ben. It's in that,
like,
you know what I'm saying?
Trade Ben. And I mean, we saw the effects that trades have on dudes firsthand. This is what I really loved about the Derrick Rose kind of journey, because he vlogged that whole situation, and he was, you know, as soon as he got the notification from the Bulls that they were trading him to, where did they trade him to? New York?
Yeah.
New York for the first time? And how much it broke him. Like, so thinking about how much they're talking about, like, Zion's too fat. That was trending for a minute. You know, what else were they talking? Ja, when he wouldn't shoot the three.
People block family members under a status for one bad comment, and they really think somebody's going to take 20, 30,000 people saying the exact same thing. Yeah, they better get up out of here. One family member come under the right status. You should have been at grandma's house. I ain't got time for this. Next status. Remove the haters. Bad vibes not accepted.
It's crazy, man. It's I don't know. I think we just underestimate the mental fortitude it takes for these dudes these men and women to go out there, right? Like, everybody was talking about the WNBA is trash because no one watches it and it's underfunded. Like, skill wise, I guarantee you a lot of these dudes go out there, step on the court against a Sue Bird, who's 38 years old now. She gonna give them buckets.
Yep.
So
I know mentally, so like my senior year, when we played home games, we only had one side of the field had bleachers, right? Our coach was so mentally beat up from like our junior year going 0-10. We used to go to the opposite side of the field so he didn't have to hear the fans. Like, that's how it was. We used to have to go to the opposite side of the field, and the away team would be on our sideline, which wasn't good because my team, like, we went 0-10, bro. So like, they was just getting all the love from their fans. And here, hey, cook that cuz. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was hearing it, like, and our coach was getting beat up, bro. And then, like, you get off and you're like, cuz, like, what is going on, bro? Like, you just people really kindness, bro. Like, is that even a thing for most people nowadays? Just to be like, you know what? would I want somebody to say this to me? Maybe I should think before I say that. 'Cause I wouldn't want somebody to say that to me.
You know damn well they won't, man. People use professional athletes as punching bags, but the Bobby tapped in. He said, "Bro, the fuck you mean? You got Tank fighting. You got Tank fighting around the corner. Errol Spence versus Pac-Man. Tyson Fury versus Wilder 3. Joshua after. Man, look, we talked about this earlier, the Bobby, and I think you could probably rewind and look at it, man. But when the boxing world is selling over $100 million in pay-per-view to watch Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather fight, and then you
YouTube
see
TikTokers.
like you see one Tyson Fury fight every year, every other year in comparison to how frequently the UFC is fighting, man. The boxing is dead, bro. I mean, it might not be dead to you, but collectively, like, we should have been seen a Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia fight.
Exactly.
We still ain't seen.
You said Tank. Yeah, so he said Tank should have been fighting. Tank should be fighting Garcia this weekend. You know what I'm saying? That's like, if that was the fight, you're like, oh no, boxing ain't dead. But it's like, we keep missing the best fight. The best people fought the best people.
At
when it
the
was
best
supposed
time.
to happen. Yeah, right when it was supposed to happen, and we're missing that, bro. So it's not. It's Tyson and Wilder 3. Like, I really don't want to. Like, I'm not going out my way to watch that no more.
Oh, he said keep reading. But not to mention, if Errol wins, it opens the door for Crawford fight to most likely be set up. Basketball, I'll take your word, but nah, just because YouTubers are doing celebrity boxing didn't mean boxing's dead.
Okay,
and
so
it is dead, bro.
Earl and Crawford. Yeah, so Earl and Crawford is the next fight up. But again, the way boxing has been going, who guarantees after Earl's fight this one that they will be next?
Yeah.
And if we go off the rhythm we've been going with, it's not going to happen the very next fight. It's going to be down the line, and we're going to wait. And we're just going to be like, I'm tired of waiting, bro.
Tell me how much Floyd. Deuce said, how long y'all going to be all loaded up? Tell me how much Floyd pulls every fight. Bro, it's not Floyd. Like, Floyd is not boxing. If we're comparing it to what the UFC is doing, and we said this before, you can rewind it, you can see it earlier in the stream. But what boxing is missing is a Dana White. Boxing is missing a Dana White to take and dictate when these dudes fight, how frequently they fight, bringing up some big name fights, as opposed to for us to sit here and what are we waiting 2 years for Wilder Fury 3?
Yeah,
2 years. It took us.
Take over the boxing industry.
He might as well.
And then what is it? He said what? Devin Haney and Garcia's the fight. Are they even locked in? I don't think they're locked in.
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah, so that's the fight, but the fight that everyone wants to see is Garcia Tank. No one wants to see Devin Haney and Garcia. No one wants to see Tank and Barrios or whoever the hell he's fighting, bro. Like, nobody wants to see that. After Andy Ruiz dropped Anthony Joshua, how long did we have to wait for that rematch?
We even had to wait a while just for Wilder and Tyson to lock in the first one after that. It's like,
no, sir, you brought up number because of Logan Paul. Yeah, that's why boxing is dead. I mean, boxing might still be kind of kicking. I guarantee you, bro. Like, if they're not fighting a Floyd Mayweather, if they're not fighting a Manny Pacquiao, like, he shouldn't even be fighting, bro. Like, go and be the governor of Manila, bro. Stop fighting.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not Floyd Mayweather fighting, it don't matter. I guarantee you everybody's going to tap in to watch Adesanya than they are going to watch Garcia.
So you got, let me see if I can put it the best way. We're not saying boxing is dead as in the quality of fighters aren't still there and available. The fact that they're getting overshadowed by some people who shouldn't be boxing, by some people who shouldn't have a headline, is the problem. Ain't no way in the world let me put it like this. Let me see if I can take it back and give a good analogy of it. Y'all remember let's say Lennox Lewis in our younger days was fighting anybody, right? You think if you hear a Lennox Lewis fight, you hear he's fighting another person he's supposed to be fighting, right? We're not gonna change the channel for the garbage man or the guy in in the basement recording videos. Everybody's tapped into a Roy Jones Jr. fight. We're tapped into those fights. The entire world is tapped into those fights. It's just overshadowed now. Not because the quality of fighters aren't there, but
Pac-Man's a beast.
they're just getting out. Like the media's maneuvering past them, bro. And boxing needs to catch up.
Pac-Man's a beast. Pac-Man is a beast, but bro, like he's beyond his time. We should have saw Pac-Man. We should have saw a Pac-Man Mayweather fight 5-7 years before it actually happened. Happened. Haney beat Garcia multiple times. Ryan Garcia is undefeated, bro. He's 21-0. What you talking about? COVID hit boxing hard. The UFC took off with the Apex. I mean, even before COVID, right? Like even before COVID, I think UFC was on its rise. And I mean, like Vita said, right? Boxing ain't dead. Like the quality of fighters is still there. Like I said, they're just missing a Dana White that dictates who's going to fight when, how frequently they fight, and to make sure that hype is there, right? Like boxing was at its absolute tip top when you had a damn Don King managing damn near every fighter. And he was making sure his top fighters were fighting frequently. Mike Tyson was fighting every other month. And I mean, he wasn't getting touched anyway, so he could have fought every week if he needed to.
Yeah. It's just different. Yeah. It's just a different time. We could dig into that. A little more. John, just catch us next time and hop on with us, bro, and then we can talk boxing when we're a little. We'll talk boxing, bro. We'll mess with you.
Amateurs,
we'll
bro.
Figure that out.
Who's amateurs? We amateurs. You crazy, man. I'm watching boxing back in the Rockman days.
Yeah.
Lennox Lewis, David Tua. Anyways, but
either like just the whole social media with the athletes and all that, even with boxing, all of that. It's just social media is what it is. And like even when you look at the Paul situation, the best thing that could happen for him next for his own brand is just to lose. It's just like go fight someone. Like just at this point, it's like go lose because then he could. At least I won this many and that many and that many. That's why I said in our group chat, I was like, look, if I'm anybody, I'm not going to entertain a fight until it's like actually a professional fight. Like, all right, cool. We're going to actually put you up against somebody who, if you win or lose, it'll go on a professional record. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where it's going to go. That's what his next fight.
Them dudes are they playing the system and they're playing it real good. I mean, shit.
You remember
Molessi was talking about YouTube versus TikTok just last week, a couple weeks ago.
You remember the Kimbo Slice days when Kimbo was fighting in the backyard?
Yeah.
This is essentially what they're doing without somebody actually getting folded. You know what I'm saying? We got an arena and better quality stuff, bro. Like that's like they just have the legal way of doing it now. That's like nobody's getting beat up. Like nobody's actually getting beat up. It really is just a show. And when Floyd said that mess afterwards, he was like, "Yo, my kids can't eat legacy." I was like, "Yo, you really did that for a check? Like that wasn't a boxing match."
Facts. That man always says it. Health is wealth. He said, "My health is my wealth."
And again, I can't be. I'm not mad at either one of them, and I'm not mad at boxers being more precaution, because they are trying to take care of their body. But I think because of that, we've missed out on some great stuff at the right time.
Let's get it set up. I gotta go to work at 12 tomorrow. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's definitely get you on, Bobby. I mean, shoot, we got different opinions, we got different views, and we definitely want to hear yours, man. I mean, especially somebody who's a boxing purist. We want to hear that, dog. Like, shoot, let's talk. We all for it, man.
I saw that the Clippers was up before we get off.
They're up by 16.
PG went on a run by his damn self. He got a dub right now going into the next quarter.
Third quarter, right?
Fourth quarter.
They're up 87-71.
It's gonna be a good series, man.
They got Zubac going 15-13 right now. They need that from a center.
They needed
that.
Any final remarks? Any final comments, my guys? Final thoughts before we tap out of here?
The Lakers going 5. Bucks and 5.
You said Bucks and 5.
Bold take. Carmelo coming to the Lakers next year. We're gonna re-sign Caruso specifically because he just got arrested. Free Caruso for smoking that. He wasn't even smoking nothing, man. They just found a grinder in his bag.
His picture cracked me up.
His picture did crack me up.
Like, let that man go, bro. He just got through hooping. Like, what are you doing?
Damian Lillard doesn't finish the season with the Portland Trail Blazers next year.
If they're out of the playoff race, I'll take that.
I don't think he finishes the season with them at all. I think he's gone by All-Star break.
Yeah, he's gone before that. If they're like, they usually start at number 10 seed, and they work their way up. So.
Yeah.
I heard something, and I heard that the Rockets aren't interested in the number 2 pick at all. Yeah, don't know how true it is, but I heard
even Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, they like Detroit and Houston was like, if you send us the right veteran, you can have the pick.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
So, they gonna trade it for a bag of Cheetos?
We'll see. But it's gonna be interesting because there's a possibility for a lot of things to happen now, especially with. I think Kawhi's gonna shop free agency just because, even if he does go back, I think he's still gonna open the door.
Yeah.
Portland. I think Kawhi to Portland is the only way they keep Dame.
Yeah.
That's the only way they keep Dame.
I think they should trade away CJ though.
Yeah, I think CJ's time is done. He's ready to announce anyway.
Yeah.
CJ's time is done. Kawhi going to Portland is how they keep Dame.
Dinwiddie to the Lakers. He said he wants to play in LA.
Dinwiddie to the Lakers. Yeah, that's a good point right there.
I do Dinwiddie to the Lakers.
Yeah. That's a good take. I like that one.
Yeah. And then the Warriors, Lakers, Western Conference Finals next year.
I'm telling you, man, everything in me says that the Lakers, Warriors says 7-14 for Towns. Because I don't think because the Wolves don't have a lottery pick now. I don't think they're gonna do it without both. I think they're gonna be like, yo, we want both. Give us both and you can have it.
Towns on the all right, so if Towns goes to the Warriors, the Warriors are winning the chip next year.
So
if for some reason Towns to the Warriors and they can keep Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah. I don't think Andrew Wiggins is gonna go back to the Wolves. Like if anything,
I'll throw my jumper out there because I heard it as soon as it happened. They'll send 7-14. Golden State can send 7-14 for Cat. Cat goes to Golden State. I don't want to do it, but I would do it. I would send 11 to Golden State for Wiseman if they wanted to do that. I would have the Hornets send 11 to Golden State for Wiseman.
Wiseman to the Hornets?
Yeah. So two. Obviously, like I told y'all, every big's been tagged to Carolina. But they said PJ and 11 to Houston for Christian Wood because Houston might want to take Mobley, or PJ and 11 to Golden State for Wiseman.
Ooh, I would take Christian Wood over Wiseman.
I'd take Christian Wood too.
In the moment, I would take Christian Wood too. I would definitely take Christian Wood.
I almost think y'all go after Jared Allen.
Jared Allen was the first one, and I think they're just going to see if they could just get a contract out of him. I think they're just going to see if they just get a contract out of him. That's it.
Yeah. Like a 2-year deal with him or something like that.
Hey, y'all should pay Trez.
Now, we tried last year.
He's not staying with the Lakers this year.
Yeah, but I don't want to offer him again because we offered him a bag just for him to turn this down. I wouldn't give him no more money. I wouldn't give him no more money.
Dennis Schroeder is going to the Nets. Nah, I don't think he's going to the Nets. I think Dennis Schroeder goes to the Clippers.
I think he's going to go whoever pays him. And I don't think it even
76ers.
Yeah, I don't even think it has to make sense for him. I just think he's going to go where he's going to get paid.
Yeah.
I hope we don't overpay his goofy ass.
Just like John Collins, I think he's restricted, so he's definitely going to stay.
Dang, just like that, they down 11. That's tough. They went from being down 19 to being down 11. But all right, we'll get a couple of things. Actually, now we'll start this next episode. We're gonna start a segment to end out every episode. Next segment, we're gonna take a page out of the Barnes and Jackson Brotherhood.
Yeah.
With some quick hitters at the end.
Next time.
Yeah, until next time.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna be on Apex if y'all trying to hop on. Let me know.
All right. Got you. Till next time.